All right, so I've got a bench I'm gonna rest this on. Show you how I do the front on this Honda Ridgeline. Gonna get snow tires here. I already jacked it up. Again, we're gonna use the GREENWORKS IMPACT wrench, and it works well, surprisingly. "24 volts. I don't have to use a breaker bar. Makes my life easier. Honestly, this is the first time I've ever owned an impact wrench, and let me tell you, it's freaking worth it. 60 bucks, guys. It's about 60, maybe 69, I can't remember exactly. It was a pretty freaking good deal. So if you look inside, I'm going to show you where I jacked it. Just right up there, okay, on the lower control arm in this little area. You can kind of see from there, okay. That's where I jacked it up. I've got that snow tire here. You want to make sure it's clean. Inside here, this looks pretty clean. Not much going on. You also want to make sure you clean the inside of your snow tire that you're going to throw in there. And I got tired of taking this to the tire shops. Started doing it myself years and years ago, because whenever I go to the tire shops, half the time they screw it up. And kind of same reason why I fix my own vehicles, because half the time they screw it up. Okay, so I'm teaching everybody here to do it themselves. We've got a big military plane coming by right now. You see, you can hear it. Where is he? Look at that. Cool. Wow, looks like World War III. Okay, back to civilization. Anyways, just wanted to show you that. I get a lot of those flybys because, well, at this location I'm out in the country. So anyways, as I was saying, I like this GREENWORKS. Make sure you thread by hand first to start it out, otherwise you might cross thread it and mess up the bolts. Don't want to do that. Again, the star pattern, I'm going to start with this corner, this corner, this corner. So I'm just going crisscross, okay? And if you do that, your wheel will be a lot more balanced. There we go. Done, okay? Now I'm just gonna torque it again, 100 foot plus pounds, and we got all 4 tires done. Okay, so that's one. There's the back, and there's the thread. Okay, I'm hoping we get a lot of snow this year, so we'll see what happens, because I'd like to do a video here. There's the other one on I like to do a video driving in deep snow, so keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully we get some, but the Ridgeline's good to go. Bring on the bad weather. Give it one of these guys. Okay, so I'm not sure how good you guys will get a view of this, but I'm gonna hold it down there like that and put the new snow tire on. Again, this is for the front tire. Looks like it needs to go a little higher. Let me jack that up. Okay. Fits like a glove. Again, this is a Camaro rim I purchased off Amazon. It's like just over 100 bucks. Sometimes you can find rims on the Craigslist as well. You want to use 5 by 120 is the bolt pattern, and it works good. So they never said these were for the Ridgeline, but they work. This is my second season using them. The first season, I made a bunch of videos showing how they performed in the snow, and they did well. You know, they did pretty well overall. Important thing, just make sure that it's really clean on the inside and that these are all lined up. I'll go through this again, probably with a torque wrench and re-torque it later after I drive. Usually you want to put it on, drive around for several miles, 20 miles, re-torque it, just double check, make sure nothing's loose. In the past, in some of my other vehicles, I've had some shakes and things like that when it drove, and a lot of the tire shops actually just didn't torque my bolts properly, so that kind of pissed me off. So I had to retorque it, and then next thing you know, it's running just fine. But that's pretty much it. You know, I'm gonna just kind of hand tighten it from here on out, and I've got a breaker bar that I'm gonna use today because I left my other wrench, my torque wrench, at my other place. So here we are, just going with it. It's nice and snug, nice and snug. Star pattern. Just double check, make sure it's nice and tight, and you're good to go, guys. That's pretty much it. Okay, and that's the front tire. I'm gonna go do one more. Call it good. Thumbs up, guys. Okay, guys, so today I'm gonna swap out my summer tires for my winter tires. I'm using these Winter Cats, Dean Winter Cats SST. Same size, 245, 60/18. Okay, first thing you gotta do is you gotta jack up your tire. And for me, this is what I did. I jacked it up right over there on that little bend. You can kind of see it there. So jack it up, if you got a good jack, do so. And then I'm testing out the GREENWORKS, and we're gonna see how that works out. So I'm not sure, I have no idea. Just bought it just to try it out, see what it's like. And we will figure it out here in a second, once I figure out the right socket size there. But let's see if that's it. It's too big. It's like, where's all my socket sizes? It's like none of them are here. So I found the socket size. Closest one I've got 7/8. It might be a 22, to be honest, but here we go. Let's see, moment of truth. Look at that, guys. It took the freaking bolt off. I'll be darned. It actually took them off, okay? I'm surprised. Just uses a 24-volt battery. I think this was like 60, 70 bucks. Came with a battery and the charger and everything. You know what? It did the job. So props to that. So once these come out, I've got spacers, and let me see here. Put that up. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So I've got these spacers on right now. I'm gonna make sure that these spacers are torqued in there as well. Just make sure that they're nice and tight. I'm gonna have to see what size those spacers are, but this is what it looks like. You wanna make sure you brush or clean these a little bit so there's no debris or anything in there. And then we're gonna put the snow tire on next. I'm gonna take a towel to this, clean it up, make sure everything's tight. And then you can see inside there the brakes, and they're not bad. Looks like I've used a bit. I'm at 41,000 miles plus, so it's kind of hard to see the brake pad there, but there it is. I still got a lot of life left. I should get at least 100,000 miles out of this. But I've also got a little metal brush that you could use and just kind of clean that area. These snow tires are not directional, so you can rotate these front to back wherever. Shouldn't be an issue. I'm gonna go ahead and just double check my bolts there and that they're tight. So my spacers are on super tight. See if I can prop this a little bit. Keep bumping into stuff. There you go. Fits perfect. Make sure that everything is centered just right. Otherwise, you're gonna get imbalances when you're driving down the road, and well, you don't want that. So make sure everything's centered. And then I forgot my torque wrench at my other location, so I'm just gonna do this manually by hand, get them nice and snug, and I can check and re-torque them later when I need to. But I've got the bolts in there, so take a look at that. What do you think? Make sure it's pretty centered in there. So that's the last one going in, and that's it. So that was the rear one. Pretty easy. And the fronts, they're not much harder to do. You know, I could take it to Les Schwab's or somewhere to do it, but you're sitting there for an hour or two sometimes. I'm just so used to doing it myself. So, and it helps if you've got one of these torque wrenches, drills. So surprisingly, it's working pretty good. Give it a thumbs up, guys. You want to do the star pattern, okay? And then I'm gonna go over that again with a manual, with one of these. Okay, just make sure it's nice and tight. It's about 100 foot-pounds, okay, on this truck, roughly, maybe a little bit more, but I feel pretty secure at 100 to 120 foot-pounds. Okay. I've been doing this long enough to kind of have a decent idea about how much 100 foot-pounds is. But yeah, should hold tight. That shouldn't go anywhere. Okay, so the rears are done. I'm gonna go do the other three, but that's pretty much it. Oh, and by the way, these are Camaro rims, if you're curious, and they actually fit on. So I got these off Amazon. I'll put them on a link in the description as well. But 5x120 Camaro rims. They fit the same tires as the standard OEM 245, 65, 18. Guys, I got the GREENWORKS 24 volt cordless impact wrench, okay? And this is pretty powerful. It's not even fully charged, but it's got 3 settings. It's got 3 bars for juice right now, but it's on the highest setting for strength. Goodness gracious. It's on the highest setting for strength. You can see the 3 bars there. I'm going to show you on my Honda Ridgeline. Here we go, left to loose. Comes right on off. There you go. So, surprisingly decent. I think this might be my first impact wrench. And I bought it because it's pretty freaking cheap. It was like $60 with a battery and a charger. You got all that stuff off, okay? Comes right on off, and I'm gonna put that snow tire on. I still got a lot of tread left on that, so far everything's looking good. And the brakes, they're looking pretty good too, actually. Okay, so I hand threaded these a little bit, and then I'm going to take my impact wrench and tighten them up some. You want to go do the star way. Okay, so just start crisscross, 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 just like that. And then I'll go over this with my breaker bar because I don't have my torque wrench here, but I'll do roughly 100 foot-pounds plus. So that's it. This is the other rear tire for the Honda Ridgeline. I'm going to tighten that up, and then we'll do the fronts. The front of the Honda Ridgeline, and I jacked it up on the lower control arm. You can kind of see it there. It's up down there. There's a couple jack points you can probably find. You can check the internet for those, but that's what I'm using. And here we go. This is the third tire using the GREENWORKS. Cracked it loose. Pretty happy with it so far. One-handed. Works pretty smooth, guys. I wish I brought my tripod, so I apologize. It's going to be a little sporadic here, but I'm going to rip this off, go throw the other one on, and we'll be good.